Hey, what's up, Market Moose? My friend the Moose on the loose. I hope you are doing well today. There is not a day passing by without talking about artificial intelligence, right? It's the craze. I mean, people go crazy about it. We see like bunch of news like, oh, this company signed a contract with OpenAI or whatever, and then it jumps like 12, 13, 25% up. It's crazy. And then you may have like the fear of missing out. You may have like FOMO of not investing in the AI hype. And I get it. But on the other side, I'm not a fan of those craziness. Most of the time when we have such a big hype, there's a bubble like building up. The point is, I'm not saying that AI is going to crash and burn. I don't think that at all, actually. But at one point now, everyone that says, "Oh, we are AI company," like they just get funding, they just get so much love from investors, and their stocks goes up like there's no tomorrow. I don't want to get burned. And the way I want to benefit from AI is not just to invest in tech stocks, but rather look at companies that could benefit from that wave, but are a little bit like I like this analogy about the gold rush. I mean, you may or may not find gold, but the ones selling the shovels, they made money for sure. And those plays that I'm going to talk about today are three Canadian companies in three different sectors. So you're going to love that. And they are actually right now benefiting from the craze for AI, but they're not AI businesses. And they have actually a solid business model behind all this. So that's great because they're already up and running and profitable. And on top of that, now they have an additional tailwind to make their investment case even better. So let's get started. Capital Power, CPX, 4.1% yield, a utility company. Utility companies are started to be like growth companies these days. And we're going to have like a complete episode about that tomorrow with Nelson. So you don't want to miss it. And I highly suggest that you hit pause and you subscribe to the Moose on the Loose, or if you are on YouTube, give me that like and subscribe to the channel to not miss it, because tomorrow we're going to review our favorite utility companies in Canada. So back to Capital Power, based in Alberta, about 30% of their revenues are coming from that province. They are expanding in the US, though. They're growing through acquisitions, and they have a great mix of natural gas and renewable energy. 77% of their revenues are coming from natural gas and storage. So it's a very stable source of energy, which is great. And then 12% is renewable, and now they are trying to get away from coal energy generation. They have a plan to do that, so they're following this plan right now, shutting down their coal plants and moving to renewable and LNGs. So why it's so important? Well, it's important because data centers, they need a lot of power. Most importantly, they need stable power. Even better for Capital Power, and this is where the narrative gets exciting, is Alberta is making a huge effort to bring in a lot of data centers. What is great about Alberta is the energy is cheap, so that's one. The taxes are low. I mean, for Canada, for sure. So that's two. And three, it's relatively cold. And it's great because those processors calculating artificial intelligence and helping all those calculations to be made, they generate a lot of heat. So if you build your data center in a cool place, well, you're going to save a lot into cooling systems, all right? So CPX Capital Power is in a great position to benefit from that tailwind, from the fact that they can provide renewable energy, they can provide stable energy, and they are in the right province to do so. So they are playing on the right in the right playground right now. They expect to grow their dividend by 2 to 4% with a target payout ratio between 30 and 50%. So very safe dividend here. Not so much of a growth there because they're using most of their capital to grow the business. And I think they're making the good move. So that would be one stock that could be on your list. Again, not financial advice. You have to do your due diligence because you can mimic my ideas, but you cannot mimic my conviction. All right, next one, Toromont Industries, TIH, with a yield of like 1.35, but dividend growth rate over the past 5 years in high single digit, roughly like, I think even more like 10% per year or something like that. More than 30 years of dividend growth increases, kind of crazy. So if you are curious about this one, I made an episode with Nelson a couple of weeks ago on the channel. So you can go on to Moose on the Loose on your podcast, where you listen to your podcast, or on YouTube. You're going to find it out there. Great episode about how Toromont Industries is actually the Caterpillar's largest dealership in Canada. Think of like those big Tonkas for like the mining, the construction, and so on. So they're making most of their money by equipment sales, rental products, and refrigerating services. So now you kind of see me coming with this. Where does AI enter into this? Well, data center construction, of course. On top of that, what is great is, yes, they're going to benefit from those like construction and infrastructure construction, but they also have about 10% of their business that is coming from Simco, that is specialized in refrigeration systems. So as I told you before, data centers, they generate a lot of heat. They need those cooling system, and Toromont Industries is actually doing this even better. Not too long ago, they made the acquisition of AVL, and AVL design and manufacture power generation and storage enclosures. So again, a very good fit for building AI centers and then offering cooling systems. So definitely in the right place to grow. If you're looking for more ideas like those, you can find companies with a strong set of metric by using my Rockstar list. So the Rockstar list is only companies on the Canadian and the US market that shows positive revenue, earnings per share, and dividend growth in the past 5 years. You can download the list at moosemarkets.com/rockstar. So super easy. Every month you're going to receive the updated list on top of that. So moosemarkets.com/rockstar. All right, so the last one is quite exciting. It is also quite on a roller coaster ride. So you have to do your due diligence. Go do a deep dive on this one. Hammond Power Solutions, HPS.A. Super low yield, 0.90%. So not even 1% yield, but crazy profitable small capitalization. So it could go up, could go down. I will never tell you enough, but this company has been around for more than 100 years. It's known for its super high quality dry type transformers. And you're going to say, Mike, what is a dry type transformer? It's a transformer for electricity that has no fluids, so it cannot explode and burns, as opposed to the liquid type transformer. They build those super customized dry type performers for data centers, mining, and manufacturing. So of course, again, about the craze, data center, even better for them. They are in Canada, in the US, and in Mexico. They're vertically integrated, so they control the entire process to build those dry type transformers, which comes with great margin and also the control of quality, which is uber important for the companies that are building those data centers. Because I mean, if there's one thing that you want, is reliability. So we saw that in power, we saw that in cooling, and now we saw that into providing the energy around the center. So as you can see, there are a lot of ways you can benefit from the hype around AI, but with a side twist where those companies, they were around before AI. Yes, they benefit from that tailwind, but they were generating great cash flow before that, especially Toromont Industries with more than 30 years of dividend increases. But you have it for like all taste here. So if you want to go for like more like a educated guess speculation play, maybe Hammond Power, like definitely one that could explode on both sides. It could implode or explode. I don't know how you want to put that. If you want to go for stability, for something that has been around forever, Toromont Industries. And if you want to go for a higher source of income and still make a play on growth, Capital Power will probably tick a lot of those boxes. All right, Moose, that's enough for today. Remember, tomorrow we're going to talk about our favorite utilities with Nelson. It's going to be from the Canadian Dividend Investing newsletter. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure that you subscribe to the podcast or on the YouTube channel to not miss the show. And until tomorrow, don't forget to stay invested.